The life of Rizal. Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Realonda, or popularly known as Jose Rizal, was born in June 19, 1861, in a small town of Calamba, Laguna. And his father, Francisco Engracio Alejandro Mercado Rizal, is an industrial farmer whom Rizal called a model of father, who was born in May 11, 1818. While his mother, Teodora Morales de Quintos Alonso, a highly uncultured woman whom Rizal called a loving and prudent mother, was born in November 9, 1827. The Rizal siblings. Saturnina Rizal, 1850 to 1913, the eldest child of the Rizal Alonso, who was married to Manuel Timoteo Hidalgo of Tanawan, Batangas. Pasiano Rizal, the only brother of Rizal and the second child, 1851 to 1930, a farmer and became a general of the Philippines revolutions. Narcisa Rizal, 1852 to 1939, the third child, married to Antonio Lopez at Morong Rizal, a teacher and musician. Olympia Rizal, 1855 to 1887, the fourth child, married to Silvestre Ubaldo. She died in 1887 from childbirth. Lucia Rizal, 1857-1919, the fifth child, married to Matriano Herbosa. Maria Rizal, 1859 to 1945, the sixth child, married to Daniel Faustino Cruz of Binyan, Laguna. Jose Rizal, 1861 to 1896, the second son and the seventh child. He was executed by the Spaniards on December 30, 1896. Concepcion Rizal, 1862 to 1865, the eighth child, died at the age of 3. Josefa Rizal, 1865 to 1945, the ninth child, an epileptic who died a spinster. Trinidad Rizal, 1868 to 1951, the 10th child, died a spinster and the last of the family to die. Lastly, Soledad Rizal, 1870 to 1929, the youngest child who married to Pantaleon Quintero. Family tree of Rizal. The education of Jose Rizal. First teacher of Rizal was his mother. He learned the alphabet and prayers at the age of 3. She discovered that her son had a talent for poetry and encouraged him to write poems. Rizal's parents employed private tutors to give him lessons at home. The first tutor of Rizal was Maestro Celestino. Second tutor of Rizal was Maestro Lucas Padua. Leon Monroy. This old teacher lived at the Rizal home and instructed Jose in Spanish and Latin. After Monroy's death, the parents of Rizal decided to send him to a private school in Binyan, Laguna. He was accompanied by Pasiano to the village school under the charge of Maestro Justiniano Cruz, Pasiano's teacher during his elementary school. Rizal entered in 1872 at Ateneo, graduated at March 23, 1877 with a degree of Bachelor in Arts. University of Santo Tomas was under Dominicans. During his first term in USD, in 1877 to 1878, he studied cosmology, metaphysics, and philosophy. In May of 1882, Rizal got a ship to Spain without informing his parents of his true intention. Rizal went to Singapore, Colombo, and Suez Canal before reaching Europe. In May 3, 1882, Rizal reached Spain and enrolled at Universidad Central de Madrid. In June 18, 1884, he graduated with a medical degree at the age of 23. After completing his study in Spain, Rizal went to Paris and Germany for his specialization in ophthalmology. He chose this course, medicine, because he wanted to cure his mother's growing blindness due to cataract. During his stay in Paris, Rizal registered in the clinic of Dr. Louis Recker, who was treating 50 to 100 patients a day, and therefore was considered as a leading ophthalmologist back then. The languages that Rizal mastered: Arabic, Chinese, English, Catalan, French, German, Greek, Hebrew, Italian, Japanese, Latin, and other native dialects. The love life of Rizal. Segunda Katigbak. Leonor Valenzuela, Leonor Rivera, Consuelo Ortega, Jose San, Gertrude Beckett, Nellie Bausted, Suzanne Jacobi, and Josephine Bracken. Some of profession of Jose Rizal: architect, artist, businessman, cartoonist, educator, economist, ethnologist, farmer, historian, journalist, inventor, and others. Jose Rizal life in Europe. Jose Rizal lives in Europe for 10 years. He wrote his first novel and second novel here in Europe. In December 26, 1896, a Spanish court-martial found him guilty for rebellion, sedition, and conspiracy. The Spanish authority said that Rizal's writing was the start of the rebellion. At around 7 a.m. of December 29, Rizal transferred to his death cell in Fort Santiago. By 6:30 a.m., Rizal was at Bagong Bayan, or also known as Luneta Park. 7 a.m. of December 30, 1896, the 35 years old patriot was shot in the back by a firing squad. He hesitated, turned halfway around to face his executioners, and fell on his back to face the Philippine sun in the east. Jose Rizal is still remembered today throughout the Philippines for his brilliance, courage, peaceful resistance, and his compassion. Filipinos School studies Rizal's works. The Philippines declared its independence from Spain on June 12, 1898. It was the first democratic country in Asia. Rizal History Photos. Jose Rizal fencing with Juan Luna, Mariano Ponce in Paris in 1883. Jose Rizal at the center beside Marcelo del Pilar for a group portrait in Madrid. Jose Rizal execution at Bagong Bayan. Katipunero with the portrait of Jose Rizal. Leaders of the reform movement in Spain: Rizal, del Pilar, and Ponce. Rizal as young king.